Hello, how are you all doing? This is Tyra Omilade, your goddess guru, and I want to talk to you all tonight about Mercury Retrograde because you all know I love helping women align with their life purpose using ancient wisdom and knowing that this is how we walk in our power through ancient wisdom, the application of it, as well as the goddess centered lifestyle. So I just thought, you know what? I need to come on and I need to talk to the sisters and any of the brothers that are still hanging in here with me about what's going on with this Mercury retrograde. So you see me looking down because I need to pull it up. First, I'm gonna put my banner up here for y'all. But yeah, I need to talk to y'all about this. There is a time in Mercury retrograde that you don't often hear talked about. And that time is called the storm period. And so I want to come on and talk to you all about that this evening. But first, how are y'all doing? How's everything going? How's life treating you all? Um, I must say things have been, things have been wild and crazy in my part. My neck of the woods. Hello, Cariel. Hi, Eileen. I do want you all to know that I am streaming to both Facebook and YouTube. So if you hear me refer to a comment that you don't see, it might be on the other platform because I had folks feeling crazy the other day reading all the comments, but not saying, oh, this one's from Facebook. So I am so glad to see you all here. I am so excited to talk about Mercury retrograde so that you can understand it's about to get jiggy up in this piece. Okay. So Mercury is a planet that speaks volumes to what we do. Like the way the planets work with us is there are personal planets, and these planets are closer to the earth, and their energy influences us in a real way. When the energy of that planet is strong, then we'll see that energy show up very strong here in the physical realm, here on Earth. When that planet is weak, sometimes weakness may even come from invisibility, but it definitely comes from retrograde. The energy is off. It can't show up 100% here in the earthly realm. And so Mercury is one of those planets that mean a lot to us. This thing, Mercury is one of the planets that's very close to the earth. And so when Mercury dictates a lot of what we're doing, me being here talking to you on social media, it is affecting it rules that. It rules communication, it rules local communities, it rules the roads, and to a certain degree vehicles that might be Mars also. But we do think about Mercury being something that has to do with cars, it has to do with technology, it has to do with business, siblings and friends and coworkers, just people who we see on a day-to-day basis. It also kind of has to do with like what are our daily routines. So can you imagine if Mercury is like moving backwards? Now, another thing about Mercury is it moves very fast. And so if Mercury is retrograde, which means to us it looks like it's moving backwards, then that means that the speed that Mercury adds to our lives, it slows things down. That means that a lot of people are like, whoa, I'm arriving to places late. People may be late, stuff may be late, running behind. But also because Mercury is all about the highways and the byways, we see so many car accidents. Or I remember when I first really started keeping up with Mercury retrograde, I would drive into Nashville. When Mercury was not retrograde, yeah, it's always going to be a lot of traffic in Nashville. But when Mercury was retrograde, the traffic in Nashville, it was like everybody get some ibuprofen, okay? Because you're going to have a headache by the time you get home. Let's see here. This is my sister, my Native American sister, Renee. This is from Facebook. Greetings. This has been awful. I don't know how much suffering has to occur. Oh no. Oh, I'm so sorry. I lost my son this year and God has been so cruel. There is no more pain. I need to learn. Aisha, we're gonna hold this space and this energy for you, Renee. I know. I mean, I can only imagine. I can't say I know, but everything that you're saying, yes, it is true, and I cannot even begin to imagine. I hope other things have not been happening to you. It looks like it has, but I am holding space for you, dear sister. I'm going to make sure I put your name on my altar and just continue to hold that space for you. I'm really so sorry. Hi, Kendra. Oh my God. Did I finally catch alive again? Yes, you did. Hello. That's from Facebook. Um, so let me see here, Renee. Renee, what's your sun sign again, if you don't mind telling me? And I'm trying to think, when is a break? We're going to catch a break maybe around August. Okay. There's a little gnat in here, y'all. Sorry. Okay. So Mercury is retrograde. So when Mercury goes retrograde, it's a big deal. There is the actual time when Mercury is retrograde. And then there's this time where, let's say we have the numbers 1 through 10. Okay. Mercury will travel 1 through 10. Let's just say, just imagine there's dots at each number. So Mercury goes through each dot, 1 through 10. And then for the retrograde, Mercury goes from 10 back to 1. Well, it has to start moving forward. So it goes from 1 back through 10. So you can see how those dots will have been traveled 3 times by Mercury. Okay. So the first time, 1 through 10, is called the shadow period. The second time, the second time when Mercury gets back to 1 and then travels back to 10, that's another shadow period. That's on the backside of Mercury retrograde. The Mercury retrograde period is that second time that phase that we talked about, where it goes from 10 to 1. Okay, 10 to 1. Well, in order to, it moves forward to 10. Let's say it went each dot 1 through 10. Well, in order for it to actually stop and then start moving back forward, there's a point where it gets to 10. And I'm just making up random numbers just to illustrate this. But just imagine it gets to the dot number 10 and it just sits there for like, let's say, 8 days, 7 days, something like that, 6 days, 4 to 6 days, something like that. I don't know. It's different each time. But let's just say it just is like, I'm staying right here on 10. Okay. And then once it starts moving back to 9, it's not moving fast. It's moving very slowly, like slower than slow for Mercury. And then maybe once it gets to 8, it's moving back, but it's starting to pick up steam. Now, it's not going to move as fast as it typically does, but it starts picking up steam. And then maybe once it gets to 7, it's like doing really, really well until it gets back to 1. Well, once it gets back to 1, it's got to go back to 10, right? So it's going to sit on 1, just like it sat on 10 to move backwards. Well, it's going to sit on 1 to move forwards. It's going to sit there for days, like no movement. This is a planet that goes and goes and goes and goes and goes. It's not moving. And so that's serious business. When Mercury's not moving, that's very serious business. Well, the point where it's just sitting on 10 in order to back it up, and then it's just sitting on 1 to move forward again, that's called the storm period. Okay. That's called the storm period. Hello, Bohemian Belle. That's okay. Cool. Bohemian Belle left Facebook and she's here on YouTube. And then we have Mr. Rodriguez. Peace and blessings. So that's called the storm period. Okay. So let me show you all. This is something that I create for my inner circle members so that they have all the details. I call this the Mercury Retrograde cheat sheet. Okay. And so that first period, that first time where Mercury is traveling 1 through 10, we've already been through that. That was May 16th through 24. And then June 20. Oh yeah. And then Mercury went retrograde. Oh, it must have been May 16th to the 29th. That's a typo. Or either it started on the 29th. I can't remember which day Mercury retrograde started, but it was either the 20, I think it was the 29th. It was May 29th. So the Mercury retrograde period is May 29th through June 22nd. So a lot of people are like, oh, May 29th to June 22nd, we're good. But the Mercury retrograde period, as you can see, it started back May 16th. Like, this is a very long period. And then it's not over until it gets back to 10, July 7th, when it's moving on. Now, it's already gotten past 10, okay? So look how long this lasts. May 16th to July 22nd, July 7th, okay? So we have a shadow period that's coming where Mercury is now going to go from 1 through 10. So whenever we're dealing with the shadow periods, what this is about is the first one is showing you more than likely what lessons are you going to learn during Mercury retrograde, what's going to come up for you. And this is why it's so important to understand mindfulness and being aware, okay? And so then we go through Mercury retrograde, which has been May 29th through June 22nd. And once we hit June 22nd to July 7th, we're learning the lesson and we're integrating it. See, these are the kinds of things that we want to begin to do in order to move forward in our lives. This is how we work with the cycles so that we move forward. This is so important. We don't want motion with no movement. We want movement. We want to be like Mercury. We want to be like Mercury and move, okay? Everybody needs a break. This is Mercury taking a little bit of a break. But what I want y'all to realize is the storm period, okay? During the storm period, Mercury is the slowest. Remember, it'll sit on one number for a long time. That's honestly the time when you really begin to see things getting crazy. Is during the storm period, not so much the whole retrograde, which we might see a lot of craziness during the retrograde. Don't get me wrong. It's Mercury. Mercury's a trickster. I've just noticed so much, like, these weird, crazy posts on Facebook, folk tagging me on like adult type posts. I'm like, I don't even know you, right? And I can't like untag my name. So you'll see some trickery and some weird stuff going on during that time. But the storm period is when it's so slow that this is when everybody's computers are running slowly. You know, the first storm period, I was like, oh my gosh, my internet is tripping. Oh, wow. I just remember telling myself, you better chill out because Mercury's going to get you, girl. Because I was just so frustrated. But I was like, oh, remind yourself, it's Mercury retrograde. Well, the second storm period started today, June 17th, and it lasts through June 28th. This is really the time to put all Mercury retrograde protocols in place. All right, sisters. All right, any brothers out there? Put all Mercury retrograde protocols in place. So today, when I went to pick up some food for my son, I could barely get out of my neighborhood because traffic was backed up. I don't know if it was an accident or a car had broken down, not sure. And then as I got closer to the restaurant, I saw another accident. I was like, oh my gosh, wow. So I was like, I need to get on and make sure I let everybody know about this storm period. So I'm asking you to mark this in your calendar every day. Mercury retrograde storm, remind yourself, leave on time. Leave on time. Check and double check and triple check all communications. If you feel like you did not understand something that someone said, say, please repeat that. I just want to make sure I heard you correctly, so that there's no misunderstandings. Take your time out in these streets. Let's not be aggressive if someone cuts you off, or it's just like, everybody peace, be still. That's the approach we're taking with this storm period, y'all. June 17th through the 28th. Where's my thing? Yeah, Mercury is going to be moving very, very slowly. For those of you who know about these degrees in astrology, Mercury will be on the 16th degree, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 days on the 16th degree. Right before that is like starting on the 17th degree. And then it's going to spend another few days on the 17th degree coming off. So yeah, y'all. Sister trying to tell y'all, this is where we are with Mercury retrograde. Please, mothers, we're asking for you, ancestors, all energies of light, even Mercury yourself. We are asking for favor. Okay. Come on now. Help us out. Help us out. Okay, let me come back over because I couldn't see while I was looking at this page. I need to come and see if y'all have any questions. Hey, Johnny, how are you? Greetings. Welcome, Sonia. Oh, thank you, Eileen. Oh my gosh. Hi, CB Powell. How are you? Okay, tell me y'all's questions. Let me look through the comments. I got to be honest. I have been wondering why, for me, Mercury retrograde is rarely destabilizing. Usually it's transformative and constructive. I can't remember. What's your sign? Are you Virgo or Gemini, Bohemian Belle? I'll tell you, first of all, let me just speak to that. Okay, hold up. What I was going to say, my brain just got a little bit caught up, like Mercury retrograde. Geminis and Virgos often feel the most off during Mercury retrograde. Okay. Geminis and Virgos often feel the most off. Like, y'all may feel like you don't have a lot of energy. Anytime people's planets are retrograde, you may feel like you don't have a lot of energy, and it's just like things are off. And it could be that whatever house Mercury retrograde is happening in for you, that area of life sort of feels like it's being highlighted. Like, you better go and do something about this. Now, going to what Bohemian Belle on YouTube said, since I've learned about Mercury retrograde, that's typically, especially once we understand what it's supposed to be about, that's when I started feeling like it's more transformative and constructive, because I see our society as go, 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 go. It's very mercurial. Actually, seriously, we live in a very mercurial time. And so living in such a time where we go, 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 and we don't value resting, we don't value slowing down, then what ends up happening is Mercury retrograde becomes a mess, because Mercury is like, whoo, child, I'm tired. I'm like, ooh, I need to take a break. Brother's tired, right? Mercury is actually gender neutral. But anywho, so if we go with the energy of Mercury retrograde, it will be so much more productive. So, like, for instance, there's some things I've been working on in terms of having more order and structure. And even though I feel like I want to go forward, I just keep telling myself, you know what? Once Mercury retrograde is over, you will have plenty of time to run forward. But yeah, when we know what to do. So during Mercury retrograde, I always slow down. I make plans to go revisit something, to redo something, to review. And I use it as a time to rejuvenate myself, to revive myself. Maybe during Mercury retrograde, we should be taking more mental health breaks than we typically take. Okay. So I agree, Bohemian Belle. They actually can be, it doesn't have to be super traumatic if we honor what Mercury retrograde is. But I have just seen so many people just feeling like things are not going their way, it's blockages, it's communication issues. And I'm like, y'all, we don't stop life during Mercury retrograde. We just respect the energy. So if Mercury retrograde is like, hey, be careful of your communication, then it's like, okay, really, do I need to have this conversation right now? Or if I do, I am going to go very slowly and make sure that we're all on the same sheet of music the whole time we are talking, right? So it doesn't have to be destabilizing, and it can be, I like your words, transformative and constructive. I agree. I learned many lessons during Mercury retrograde that helped me move forward. But if there is a man in my life, we fall out the first day of Mercury retrograde, like seriously, the first day. And so let me tell you, I'm not quite sure what this was because I didn't know astrology at the time. But I remember there was a time when it seemed like every Saturday, me and my husband would argue or get mad at each other. I guess not really argue, but we would get mad at each other. And so I just started realizing, okay, on Saturday, just keep everything super chill. I'm not engaging in anything. Like I remember what would kind of set us off. Okay, not gonna do that. So like on the first day of Mercury retrograde, Eileen, if you have a man in your life, that's a day to make other plans. Just be like, you know what, baby, this is one day I'm not going to talk to you. Trust me. We want this relationship to work. We're not going to talk the first day of Mercury retrograde. And if you need to just tone it down, what's your sign? If it's like the fifth house, if you have Mercury on the fifth house, maybe even on the first house, that could be contributing to it. That would be very interesting. Sonia, let me know if you have any questions. Glad you are here. Thank you for welcoming her. Gemini ascendant, Scorpio, sun and moon. Yes. Okay. This is interesting. So it just sounds like you're aligned with the energy of your planet, Bohemian Belle. Sounds like you are aligned with your planet, and you just naturally are doing what needs to happen. I am one who believes, I'm going to be honest with you, I like Mercury retrograde. I do. I am one who sometimes has problems taking time off. And so Mercury retrograde gives me an out. Hey, y'all, it's Mercury retrograde. I'm not doing all of that. This is my rest period. I love Mercury retrograde. For some reason, this Mercury retrograde has treated this Capricorn great. I've been noticing your posts, Johnny Wakefield, and you deserve that. You deserve every piece of Mercury retrograde being great for you. Anytime a Capricorn is happy, y'all, the world is a better place, because Capricorns be having a heavy load they carrying, okay? So we need to rejoice. Yes, Johnny. What about Capricorns during Mercury retrograde? What should we pay attention to? I'm glad you asked. You know what? Let me just bring this back up, because the way this cheat sheet works, and I have to go to a different page. So I may not see y'all's comments for a moment. I will come back to your comments. Okay. So again, this is in my inner circle. I would love it if you join me. I share all the details of all of these major transits inside of my inner circle. And so I call this the Mercury retrograde cheat sheet. It tells which area of life is being highlighted. So we have here for Capricorn, oh my goodness, y'all can see, I know Johnny. So I got to tell y'all this. I've been watching Johnny and so much of what she's been talking about, because Johnny's a Capricorn also. I've been watching Johnny talk about health. She's been doing a lot of talk about health and wellness. So this sixth house for Capricorn, it means that it's highlighting for you, Sonia, as a Capricorn, the area of health and wellness and lifestyle. It's asking you, what changes do you know you need to make in these areas that you haven't made? And you go back and you work on these areas. Now, another thing about sixth house is it's the house of problems. So it may have been you had a problem sometime in May. You were like, this problem is, why is this problem coming back up? And Mercury retrograde is now saying, hey, revisit this problem, perhaps so that you can get it solved, or you can come up with a to-do list to resolve this problem. It also has to do with pets. So sometimes when this house or this area of life is highlighted for somebody, then it's like something comes up with your pet. Maybe it's a problem the pet had, because retrograde brings up something from the past that we need to revisit. And so it could have been something's going on with the pet, and like now I've got to revisit this thing with my pet again. It also has to do with the workplace. So some Capricorns may have felt like maybe you went back and got a job that you used to have. So like if you've done something before, you can still do it during Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrograde might just bring it back for you to do again. There's somebody who I had asked my director of the nonprofit where I work. I had told my director about this person, this artist, and it just never happened. And I wasn't sure why. And all of a sudden, during this Mercury retrograde, I contacted my director and I was like, oh, by the way, whatever happened? Why did you not contact my friend? Or why did the communication break down? And she was like, oh, I don't know. And I started explaining again, this is what this artist does. We really need to bring this artist to our nonprofit. And she was like, oh yeah, sure. I contacted the artist and it's like in the work. So it was like, even though, it's like we're making it, this is about contracts too. So some people may be revisiting contracts that they had and needed to be revisited during Mercury retrograde. Also, so even though it's like we're talking to her about coming, it actually started back in like, I don't know, February or something like that. So it could be something regarding work and it's come back. Maybe, if someone is a consultant, a contractor, they lost some accounts. Maybe these accounts come back. Or it could be there is some work that should have been done. It didn't get done at your job. And it could be by you. It could be by, if you are in leadership position, it could be by your employees. And now y'all are having to go back and fix this thing or revisit something in the workplace. So it's all about revisiting. The sixth house is more about things to do, solving the problems, lifestyle, health and wellness, all that kind of good stuff. So that's a general explanation for how this thing unfolds with Mercury retrograde. Are y'all here? I see my internet might be tripping. Okay, I think it's okay now. Let me see here. Oh, so a perspective shift towards retrogrades. Yes. Hey, Felicia. You're a Virgo. Oh, see, this is another thing. The Mercury retrograde could be creating this issue for you as a Virgo. Are you a Virgo rising or sun sign? But, when Mercury retrograde happens, because you're a Virgo and this is your planet, then it could be that. And I would say, this is where I will shift from astrology to goddess, or astrology to, some spiritual tradition or metaphysics. Okay. So we see now, sis Eileen, if she has a man during Mercury retrograde, they're breaking up first day. Now what needs to happen is we're not going to have this as a story. We just take the information that we have and we now create a ritual. We call in the energy of Oshun. Oshun, hold this relationship during this time. This is a relationship that I want, and it's going to make it through this Mercury retrograde, because Mercury retrograde comes 3 times a year. And so you have to believe that you're not going to lose your man every time there's a Mercury retrograde. Something's going to go wrong every time there's a Mercury retrograde. And that's when I start shifting to my goddess tradition. Or let's say you work with the energy of um, Eshu Alegua. And y'all know I'm one who's like, hey, there's things you can do if you're not, formally, a part of the tradition. You could go and drop 3, 7, 21 pennies at an intersection. Mercury or Eshu Alegua, I'm calling on you, Papa Legba. Just going ahead and I'm asking for favor. Keep this relationship intact, until you can get out of this pattern. Or, maybe you light a candle and it's like light a red candle and maybe put 21 pennies around it and some candy, because these are things that we do when we're working with this energy of Eshu Alegua. And what that is doing is manipulating your energy. Okay. It's you have Eshu Alegua within you. And so you're pretty much just calling on this energy and shift, massaging it and saying, hey, I know what we did in the past, but we're doing something different. I'm calling on you. Come on, Eshu. You my planet. I'm honoring you, and so I'm calling on you to help me to hold on to my relationship, because this relationship is important to me. That might be something too, Eileen. Good, Sonia. Glad you're here. Bonsoir, Diza. I'm glad you're here, sister, live. But that might be something to contemplate, sis. Since you're a Virgo, this is all Virgos and Geminis. If you want to work with the Afro tradition, find the ones that are mercurial, which Eshu, Alegba, Alegua, however you want to call this energy, that is the energy of Mercury. And find ways to honor that energy and just really make that connection with it. And when it's during their times, like I am not ruled by Alegba. I am, Shango and Yemaya. But make no mistake about it. I've been like, hey, Eshu, I see you. Eshu. I'm calling on you, Eshu. Like, I'm calling on Eshu. I'm like, Eshu, come on. Take care of a sister. Take care of my family. Take care of my goddess, body, mind, spirit community. We calling on you, Eshu elect, but I know it's your time. I know it's Mercury retrograde, but I'm calling on you. But if I was a Virgo or a Gemini, let me explain to you all, I will be working with this energy on a regular basis. Doesn't matter if you even initiate and there's no Alegua ruling your head. Make no mistake about it. This is the energy of Mercury. This is your planet if you're a Virgo or a Gemini. But it's for any of the planets, okay? If you have a planet that you're working with, it's like, okay, all right, let's do this. If you're working with Mars and Mars is someplace where let's say Mars is retrograde. Man, when Mars was retrograde last year, it was rough. It was rough. Can y'all remember from September about 9th through about January, sometime at the beginning of January, we'll just say January the 4th, Mars was retrograde. That was a rough time for people who are ruled by Mars, which is Ogun or Scorpio or Aries. How am I sitting here acting like brand new? Who? Aries. I noticed a lot of us were tired. A lot of us were like, when we don't typically whine too much, Mars driven people, we just go crazy. It was rough. So anytime your planet is off, it's like you want to work with this energy, but make no mistake about it, me working with the Afro traditions, when Mars is retrograde, I am talking to Ogun also. Ogun, I'm calling on you. Ogun. Okay. So let's see here. I like it too. It slows me down and helps me refocus. Yes, Eileen. Hi, Karen. Welcome. Who's Johnny? She said, remember that song from Short Circuit? Johnny, Johnny's on, wait a minute, let me see here. Oh, Johnny's on Facebook. Sorry. There I go again, Eileen. Johnny's on Facebook. Johnny is just like so much a part of my world. I don't even notice if she's Facebook or YouTube. Let's see here. Virgo sun, alchemy. I love that word. Beauty over negativities. Oshun's Odu. Ashe. Yes, I love that. Hi, Maya. How are you? How are you feeling? And get this, he's a Gemini. Yeah, okay. I cannot with you, Eileen. You're a Virgo, he's a Gemini. I love this. No wonder. No wonder. So yeah, maybe y'all just say, you know what, we're gonna take a little break. You know, maybe y'all just need a little bit of break and we're gonna meet up back afterwards. That way nothing happens to make this thing break up. Wow. I love that you're laughing about it. I'm feeling good. I'm good, feeling rich inside. Ashe. Ashe, Maya. Ashe. Okay, so that's what I have for you all. I wanted to make sure that I talk to you all about this. So let's just review these dates because some people have come on afterwards. Ew, I'm scared if I go over it might mess up. Tell me if it's been slowing down or if I've lost connectivity, y'all, any before I switch over. It's June 17th through June 28th. Okay. Those are the dates. June 17th through June 28th, Mercury Retrograde storm. What is today? It's June 17th. All right. Okay. Thank you, Sonia. I appreciate that. We're usually okay, but on the day, it happens every time. Okay, good. I'm just glad to know y'all understand y'all's pattern. Eileen. So, yes, June 17th to June 28th, Mercury retrograde storm. This is the time to just slow your life down a little bit. And again, when we are understanding the spirituality of this, it's really about how are you going to be different on the other side of the retrograde? What transformation or change are you noticing on the other side? And this is why, again, we want to do this with intention. We want to be mindful. We want to use this as a time. What is it that you need to go and finish and complete? Do you have any open loops that need to be closed? This is what we do during Mercury retrograde. So that once you get on the other side of Mercury retrograde, because see, this is what happens. When we have unfinished loops, when we have things that are not done, I can rest assure you, there is some tape playing in our subconscious mind that gives us no peace. And it feels sort of like you can't even move forward because there's something you know that you haven't done. Like, I know this, okay, so well. This is why I can speak on it. You know there's something that you should have gotten done. It didn't get done. And now it's like, not, I don't want to move forward. And so now we go from this Mercury retrograde to the next retrograde. And guess what has happened? Nothing. We're stuck. This is how a lot of us stay stuck. We have stuff that we don't get done. Well, when it's retrograde period, it's time. Maybe you just need to reassess. Okay. Let me just take stock, catch my breath, and see, do I need to keep moving forward in the way that I'm moving forward? Okay. Or, let's say, what's another one? Maybe it, like I said, there's something that you know you need to get done. And it might be something you actually dread. It's even better to do that during Mercury retrograde. Because what happens is once you start moving forward, then you go fast like Mercury. Okay. You start moving forward with, like in a quantum way. So I'm asking you to think about, what is it that you need to get done that you haven't finished? Have you stopped to take an assessment to see, like, path forward in 2021, is this a good path, or do I need to take a different path? Like, what do I need to tweak? So that by the end of 2021, beginning of 2022, you feel successful. There's too many of us that are just like motion, no movement, motion, no movement. But if we use these retrograde periods, as well as the other planetary meetings and just the wisdom in general, if we use it, then we begin to find, oh, I'm aligned. This is what alignment is. I'm aligned. Mercury retrograde expedites my healing and manifestations as long as I'm doing the work. Exactly. Very good. Yes, it's important for us to always slow down. I agree, Maya. It's important for us to always slow down. So going ahead, take it easy, because don't forget, we have that shadow period from June 22nd to July 7th, I think it was, where we begin to integrate the lessons that we've been learning and working with, starting in May. The one caveat I do want to offer to you all is that astrologically, even though Mercury is going to start moving forward, we're in a time where the energy is a little bit slower and denser and heavier. And so we're all moving forward in a methodical way, is how I'll say it. Okay. It needs to be more deliberate, is another good word to think about. And, 2021 is all about hunkering down and getting this thing done. I can tell y'all, I did have just a little bit of a moment this week where I was just like, I feel very overwhelmed in my life right now. I feel very overwhelmed. And I was like, well, you know what? This is a time where we'll feel overwhelmed. But if I stick and stay with what I'm working on, then I'm going to be successful. And this is true for all of us. So let me know in the comments. I would love to hear from you. What are you planning on manifesting? What are you working on manifesting in 2021? What are you working on manifesting? It could be something for your health. It could be something for your mental health. It could be something for your emotions, maybe something your family, your home, your career. It does not have to be anything huge, but it will make a difference in your life. And it might be taking some time. What's up, Aquarian T on YouTube? What's up? It might be taking some time. And you sort of feel burdened by it. This is something to tell yourself, I just got to stick and stay, and go get support. If you need support, go get support so that you don't quit. Okay? I'm going to wait and see if anybody gives me any suggestions. So let's see here. I dropped a video. I think I made it public. It's a video about rewriting the script of your life. Did I make that video public yet? Let's see here. I would love it if y'all would take time to watch that video. That's one of the best videos. Yes. It's called Take Back the Script of Your Life, or something like that. You want to write your own life script. Don't be letting folks write your script. So please take time to watch that video. It's so important. I will be releasing a video pretty soon that's about where I stand with Ifa currently. For those of you who are into African spirituality, I just wanted to kind of give y'all an update on that. I don't know why I made that video, because I'm clear. I am not a teacher of this Orisha tradition. It's very old and ancient. And so it's like, I can't catch it. I'm going to let other folks who are professionals at that do. Yeah, I'm going to let them do that. And then I'm going to post a video about just something I think is really important for women about why women struggle sometimes so much in their lives. So I have some videos coming out. They're already recorded. I just need to release them. Okay. Eileen, my focus is my health, RN, because I'm not living how I want to because of my weight. Okay. Oh, right now, my health right now, because I'm not living how I want to because of my weight. I came out of a crazy depression. Okay. But I'm healing myself, and the outside does not match the inside. Oh, that's beautiful. You're going to do this. So and look at this. No, I was thinking Capricorn. Anywho, so for Eileen, something that I think is important is making sure you have that plan and you make sure you get support so that you stick and stay with the plan, because it could just feel so difficult. I mean, like, you're already coming out of depression. That's huge right there. That's huge. And so now being gentle with the way that you move forward, and it just may feel like it's so much pressure. It's slow and coming. But what the energy of 2021 is asking for us to do is to come up with a plan and stick with it no matter what. A plan for good. Okay. Now we might have to tweak it. Mercury Retrograde might give us a time to tweak it, but you want to stick with the plan no matter what. You'll feel like, I just want to quit. I just want to give up. You'll feel like, I just feel like I can't get my traction going. And a lot of times when we can't get our traction going, we'll just say, oh, forget it. But this year, the success will come from saying, it's so hard. It's so painful. Like for me, Eileen, I have to intermittent fast, period. I have to intermittent fast. It's no other way about it. If I intermittent fast, then my weight is more manageable. If I don't intermittent fast, I can eat well, but it's something about intermittent fasting every day. I start at 3:30 and I go to in the afternoon, and I go to about 5 o'clock in the morning. And so when I do that, I feel healthier. I have more energy, and I begin to realize I can control my weight. The other thing is exercise. That's the biggest thing for me this year too. Another big thing for me this year is I was a fitness instructor before the pandemic. And since the pandemic, I've not wanted to exercise at all, unless I'm in the mood. And it's negatively impacting my weight. And so, and of course, I'm perimenopause. We got to work our muscles. Okay. I'm like, oh no, I've got to work my muscles. And it has felt like I can't get traction. This is so hard. But I'm like, hey, it's 2021. This is giving me this opportunity to learn how to have that staying power and maybe pull some tools that I've never used. It's like, out with the old. This is another thing for 2021. Out with the old, in with the new. So out with cardio for this chick. No cardio, low cardio, very low. Like I barely move. In with working the muscles. Things like bar, and then stretching. And also I have to do things like that are very therapeutic, like work my fascia, things that I never did before. Out with the old and with the new. It's giving me new tools. This is it's whatever this means for everyone out there. Eileen's example matches what I'm working on. So I was able to kind of use us as a way to describe what this looks like and how you're supposed to move forward in this energy. Let me see here. Hey, baby boo Grace, the birthday queen. Oh, okay. Okay. I'm glad y'all saw that video. I'm going to take time on each organ of my body and detox. I love that. 1 month per organ. I love that. That's very different. And I like that structure that you have. that's indicated by what's going on right now. Going to look up things to do because not sure what's needed. Perfect. It's time for something new. It's time for something new. My son and daughter are my support team. Yes. And you do intermittent fasting every day. Good. Okay, Sonia, you're picking up my Capricorn energy. Tirra, I have the same issue as as Eileen. My father crossed over into the ancestral realm this past April. Oh, I send my heart and I send my love to you, Sonia. I am so sorry for your loss, sister. And a parent is very difficult. It's a very difficult loss. So yes, having melancholy days, and I'm sure, that's going to be for a little while. It'll take a little while to recover. Need to lose weight. Yes. And so, like for you, Sonia, it's definitely about new structures in your life, because that's what this time is about. You want to find these new structures, and how do you move forward? Let's say maybe you help take care of your dad, or you talk to your dad every day. Well, now you've got to create new structures, like a new routine to your day, and just create a whole new lifestyle, because now that space is open. And so 2021 has said, okay, we're so sorry about your dad. And so now this is what is your call to do. Create a new structure. I do feel, though, it's so important for you. This has nothing to do with astrology. It just has to do with like the human nature, is to just really be gentle with yourself. I think personally, taking walks is like one of the best things. It's not even personally. This is what I learned from one of my trainers, one of my personal trainers. A woman should walk every day, and not necessarily briskly. A woman should just go take a nice leisurely walk, settle her nerves, bring her cortisol levels down. And so this is something else that I think is really good for you, Eileen. Make sure you incorporate nice, gentle walks, like you're just strolling. Okay. We can use walking for exercise too. Don't get me wrong. I like seeing the little women out there with their weights, and, they'll stop in the middle of their walk and squat and all that. That's wonderful. Oh, wonderful. I'm glad you feel that. But yeah, I think it's so important for it's not, I think. Walking is, in fact, important for women. It's essential for women just to take a nice, lovely stroll. So yeah, for you, I think, well, even for Eileen, y'all have come from, it's like been rough, like really, really rough. So it's important to be gentle with yourselves. This is what my godfather would say, my teacher. Be gentle with yourself. Okay? Be gentle with yourself. Oh, that's so sweet, baby Boo Grace. Okay, everybody. Thank y'all so much for being here this evening. I appreciate you all. As always, please contact me if you would like a reading. I would love it if you all join me inside the inner circle, because this is just the tip of the iceberg of what I share. We have a community where people get posts from me and contact me and chat with me, where it's not on social media. It's in a private group, not on Facebook though, because I know a lot of my sisterin out there, y'all don't like Facebook. So, and I have a monthly reading that goes out where I break down the wisdom so that you can keep up with your cycles, and you don't have to be all over on the internet trying to figure out what's going on. I put out a video per week that goes over the wisdom as well as the astrology each week. And I create a class, but typically I create a number of videos. Sometimes if people ask me certain questions, I will just create a video and post it in the inner circle. Toolkits and all kinds of things like this Mercury Retrograde cheat sheet. They've had this since May sometime to use. So what I offer in the inner circle, essentially, you can sort of look at it as like your spiritual spa, your spiritual gym. I do my best to provide spiritual practices. Like on this past Saturday, I did a full hour of spiritual practices inside of the inner circle. We did meditation, we did energy clearing, we did chakra balancing. I went over a passage from my godfather where we talked about some wisdom, and then I led them through a mindfulness meditation. So it's like a spa, but it's also like a gym, a spiritual spa, spiritual gym. Keep yourself healthy and well from the inside out, goddess, body, mind, spirit, and emotions. So yeah, I don't feel like I do a good job of explaining to you all what I do, but that's where I put everything. So, okay. You did. Okay. Go, Diza. I will accept it for sure. Anywho, goddessbodymindspirit.com. Please avail yourself to my email list also, because guess what? With the email list, I send out a lot of the videos there first, like days before I release them publicly. They go out to the email list. Sometimes I just send something just special to the email list. So I would love it if you would join the email list. You can just go to goddessbodymindspirit.com and you'll see the form to sign up. But you can also learn more about the offerings and my hope. Okay, y'all, there's no hope. Okay, there's certainty with this chick. I'm walking in certainty because this is so important to me. I've always wanted to be a blogger. It's never happened because guess what? I'm a vlogger here on YouTube. Anyway, I've always wanted to be a blogger. And so one of the things that I am committed to doing during this Mercury retrograde is getting my blog up to speed so that you all can go and check out my blog also. And, it's like things just get lost out there in the internet world, in the interwebs. And I'm like, my stuff is so good. I need to have it where folks can just find it when they need it. Okay. So yes, I will be working on my blog soon. Y'all hold me to it. Anywho, thank y'all so much. I love you all. And we are going to rock the rest of this Mercury retrograde. Yes, the heck we are. Oh yeah. Prosperity and abundance for us during Mercury retrograde. Mwah. Love you all. You'll be seeing me again very, very soon. All right. Y'all take care. And I wish y'all a wonderful, wonderful rest of the Mercury retrograde. Thank you. Ashe, Diza. I appreciate you, sister. It is so, just because you didn't touch and agree with me. All right. Love y'all.